Good morning. It's Sunday. I'm taking a break from studying. I just received a comment a few hours ago. Well, I got it a few hours ago. I'm just now reading it. It's from Loo A, and they wrote, "Hi, I am not a nursing student, but I am struggling a lot to get a high GPA, and it's still low. What advice can you give me? I'm studying really hard, and every time I get disappointed with my grades, I feel like a failure. Please help me." Oh, darling, don't ever feel bad when you're working really hard. Of course, we would all love a great GPA. This is the highest GPA I've ever had. But I have a feeling now that I'm in nursing school, it's not going to stay high very long. You just have to be proud of each and every step you make as long as you're doing everything you possibly can. My question back to you would be, do you know your style of learning? Do you know how you learn best? A lot of people, even as adults, don't figure that out until they're out of school. So while you're in school, are you a good auditory learner by listening? Are you good with visuals, whether it's on the board or pictures or what? I have a video. Please look it up. It's called Learning Styles and Study Strategies. I made it a while ago, but it's a wonderful video, and it has helped a lot of people. I even had an instructor last week during our first week of school explain to the class that during her during her first 4 years of college, she worked really, really hard and she got C's. It wasn't until she went to graduate school that she understood she learned by using color, and she was visual, drew pictures or diagrams or whatever she had to do. I want to say she took a class on this or something, but it was then that she realized, and so she got A's after that. Even if you increase it a little bit, I'm not saying you have to have A's, but once she realized how she learns, how she takes in information and what works best for her, she soared. And it's kind of the same with me. And so what I want to ask you first is to please find out what kind of learner you are. Are you a hands-on learner doing it yourself? Are you a visual learner? Are you auditory, a hearing learner? And then there's so much out there, and like I said, my video will help you, but there's even so much more out there that you can learn about each of those learning styles. But I don't want you to get disappointed, because as long as you can put your head down at night and know that you've tried your very best, you should be happy with that. And it's easier said than done. I understand a lot of people feel pressure from their schools. They're trying to get into good programs, whether it's nursing or something else. I understand different cultures expect a lot. I understand parents expect a lot. And and I also know people who put extremely a lot of pressure on themselves. I'm kind of that way. Not that it's a bad thing. It was just with my school, it was competitive to get into nursing school. So I put a lot of pressure on myself to do well with my prereqs, to get those great grades so I can earn those points to be competitive and accepted. And now that I'm in, I'm trying to teach myself that it's okay if I don't get an A on everything, because I'm not getting an A on everything. I'm doing well and I'm passing. It's only been a couple of weeks. I'm still testing the waters. Things are completely different now. But don't put so much pressure on yourself that you hinder your learning. Do you understand what I'm saying? Sometimes if you're too hard on yourself and you expect too much, you could be your worst enemy in stopping yourself from absorbing what you need to absorb in learning. I am playing around with I know how I need to learn, but there's so much reading and there's so much to rewrite, because I know I rewrite my notes. I rewrite the notes that are given and from what I read, and I do use colored pens, and it helps a lot. And believe it or not, especially with anatomy and physiology, I would write different systems in different colors or whatever, and I could remember I wrote that in orange. Or, no, it was a little green picture. I remember drawing that specifically. That stuck in my head. The act of rewriting something imprints in my head, or reading out loud. But right now with nursing school, it's so much. I was really trying just to work with the PowerPoints, but I had we have an exam every week. My first exam I got an 85. I passed, so, I didn't know what to expect, and that's a lot of it too when you're new to a class or you're new to a new subject. You don't really know how things are going to be given. You don't really know if the way you're studying is correct, and that was my main first goal, was to get this test taken, over and done with, so I could evaluate what I did study-wise, so I could adjust or see where I needed to adjust. And I really think I need to somehow find the time to rewrite my notes or go back to my note cards or whatever, because I just couldn't recall everything I should have been able to recall. And the new ways of things being given to me, select all that apply, put in order, or just plain old multiple choice. I always got it down to the right two, but there's a few times I picked the wrong one between the two. So I'm learning that fine art of multiple choice and select all that apply. So Nurse Nicole put out a great video too about that. Also recently about the select all that apply, so check that video out. Also, please look at your how much rest you're getting, your diet. Caroline Porter Thomas, she has a video or a channel, Empower RN, on here, and I just watched her video this morning on nutrition. Last year, when I was during my prereqs, I gained 25 pounds. Why? Well, number one, I wasn't very active anymore because I was always sitting in class, and when I wasn't sitting in class, I was studying. Well, I was snacking on crud, like chips and candy, and I mean I had other things too, but that's the majority, and drinking a lot of pop. I was drinking pop like it was water because it was caffeine, and I was hoping it would keep me awake and keep me, Well, 25 pounds later, I wasn't happy with myself. I was not feeling good about myself. I lost those 25 pounds this summer, and the first thing I did was cut out the pop. I'm not saying I don't have one every once in a while, of course, but it does wear you down, and it really doesn't make you feel that great. If I want one here or there, I will. But looking around in my nursing class the other day, I kind of was like, wow, there were tons of pop bottles, the chips, the unhealthier choices, snack cakes, Danishes, coffee. I drink a cup of coffee a day, but I only drink one, and actually it's decaf, so why am I doing that? I like the taste of it. But I'm addicted to V8 juice. I don't know, I just felt like I wasn't getting enough vegetables in. So actually I drink the low sodium V8 juice. I get it at Sam's Club. They come in cans and bottles, and there's no difference of a taste to me than the regular V8 juice. I'm getting servings of vegetables. I feel good about it. I also take regular water, and I also drink a vitamin water a day. There's lots of B5 vitamins in there. I don't know. I feel good drinking. I just drink one of those a day. I have a couple bottles of plain water, and then, like I said, my V8 juice. That's my morning, what I have in my morning. And then for snacks, I try and do the healthier snacks. The very worst I get are little peanut butter crackers. That's the worst I go. And I know there's probably a high fat content in there, but for the most part it's some kind of fruit or mixed nuts. I love Greek yogurt. The V8 actually fills me up kind of like a snack, so sometimes I bring an extra one for the afternoon, and you get your servings of vegetables in there. Grapes are a great thing to bring, and if you freeze them, they're a wonderful snack in the afternoon because they're still cold. If you like cold fruit, I do. So kind of look at the kind of fuel you're putting into your body. Make sure your lunches and snacks are a good combination of carb and protein. When carb starts burning off, that's when the protein starts to kick in. So you're going to have more of a constant flow of energy, and to get you through to that lunch or to your next break or whatever. And when we are allowed a break, because I drink so much, I do use the restroom, but then I walk around our halls kind of at a quick pace just to get the blood pumping and such. And that seems to help re-energize me and kind of wake my brain up a little bit. So take breaks often. There's such thing as studying too much. You can, and our nursing instructors do this, and I love it, is they give us a break every hour. To me, that's just beneficial. Instead of sitting there hours upon hours upon hours, even though we have a lot of material to cover, they understand. You need to get up, you need to move around, and do the stretching or walking or whatever. They encourage it. Just be back at a certain time. So just pay attention to your time. But absolutely, it really does help. And just to sit there and stay sitting, at least get up and stretch. That's something else Caroline talked about in her video. She would just lean up against the wall or whatever and do some stretching exercises, and that's great too if you don't want to leave the room. But physical activity, it's really hard to find time to exercise in nursing school. I have a family at night, you know, so, and we're studying, so the morning's the best time for me, and I have to admit, I love my sleep, so I fight myself with that, but I really do feel better when I do it. I do have more energy throughout the day, but please don't put so much pressure on yourself. Learn how you find out the ways you need to learn. Put in a decent amount of time, but give yourself breaks often. Ask the teacher or your advisor maybe where they see you going wrong. Is it just in your test taking? Are you doing your assignments well? But please just know, if you are giving it everything you can and you're doing the best that you possibly can, that's the best you can do. And you're not a failure. You're a failure, well, I don't even want to say that. That doesn't sound right. If you're not giving it your best, if you're choosing to go out and party over studying, I'm not saying don't go out and have a good time, but you should study first and reward yourself with going out for a couple hours later. I do that. My husband and I have date night, but I do my work first. And that's my reward, and it's good quality time with him. So absolutely, you need to have a stress relief. You need to go to the movies with your friends every once in a while, or enjoy just a funny movie at home. Just give yourself some small rewards for your study time, and make this an enjoyable experience. We're very blessed to be able to have an education, be able to go to school and be whatever we want to be. So don't put so much pressure on yourself that you're hindering your success. Please let me know how you're doing. I hope this helped in a small way, but this is how I look at things. And just know that if you're doing your best, you're not failing. I promise. Okay, so please keep in touch and let me know how you're doing. To all of you who are in school and classes, I hope some of this has helped you as well. And take care. I'll see you on the next video. Bye.